Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Nerf DinoSquad Tricera-Blast. This blaster came out in 2020 and is part of the DinoSquad series. And this video is a viewer suggested review. Well, sort of. Mark Sebastian Velasco, a viewer we are familiar with on the channel, suggested that I take a look at the Tricera-Blast. Funnily enough, I already bought the Tricera-Blast for review before Mark commented that. So I just thought, let's just make this a viewer suggested video. So thanks again, Mark, for your suggestion, and thanks for watching my videos. It's very much appreciated. So with that out of the way, let's get started by talking about the box. Starting with the front of the box, as you can see, we have this very open packaging here, where we can see the Tricera-Blast. And we have some information on the front of the box, starting down here. This blaster includes 12 Nerf Elite darts. These are the DinoSquad turquoise and lime green darts. Blaster has break open loading and it ages 8+. No plastic-free packaging this time. Flipping it over to the other side, we can get a little bit more information about the Tricera-Blast. Here we can see that the stock has 12 dart storage. I think it's 6 darts on one side, 6 on the other. Here we can see the break open loading. The nose of the blaster comes down and you can load the darts in through the barrels. It has 3 dart capacity. Also a little advertisement for the Stego Smash and the Rex Rampage. So with that all the way, let's get this thing out of the box. All right, here we have the Tricera-Blast out of the box. And this time, we actually get instructions, unlike the other two previous DinoSquad blasters, which had the instructions on the bottom of the box. We have the operating instructions and the stock dart storage instructions as well. Here we have our DinoSquad Elite darts and onto the Tricera-Blast itself. So to load the blaster, you push on the horn here and pull down. This horn acts as the locking mechanism for the breech. And you can just load the 3 barrels with darts. They go in there like so. Goes right up. Seems to be pretty sturdy. And to prime it, this is a hammer prime blaster. So you can actually use this blaster one-handed. And prime it, pull the trigger. Fires 1 dart. Appears to fire from top to bottom. Onto the dart storage. It's a very simple dart storage. Just fit them into the stock. It fits 6 on one side and 6 on the other. Seems to be pretty secure, secure dart storage. Makes it easy to just quickly reload your Tricera-Blast like so. Makes it really easy to have your dart storage back there. All right, so with that out of the way, let's take this thing out on the range and see how it fares. So here we are at the range. We have our target set up and our Tricera-Blast loaded up with Nerf Elite. I will be firing 6 of each dart. Actually have the darts loaded up in the stock and they do hold pretty well, I will say. And these are fairly used darts, especially the Adventure Force here. It's even holding those fairly well. Anyway, first, before I forget, just like the other DinoSquad blasters, there's not much of a sight. I mean, I guess you could use the horns as a sight, but it's kind of aiming up. Who knows, maybe that's the best way to aim. All right, let's see if we can hit anything. Oh. That's some, got some power in this thing. Oh, total miss. Let me reload. All right. Went down, went around everything, and I got an egg. Nerf is not that accurate to begin with. A little bit surprised I actually hit something. On to Adventure Force. See if this fares any better. Oh, went straighter. I shot both darts out at once. That's a little unfortunate, but then again, this is a smart AR blaster, so that is a given. Oh, got the target. Why is it? Wasn't the best accuracy test. I'm pretty sure I could have hit something. It's just for some reason this thing keeps shooting out the bottom. I'm gonna get 2 more darts. Well, I lied. I'm not getting 2 darts. I'm getting a total of 4 darts here. I'm gonna shoot just the middle barrel for 2 of them. And then for the other 2, we're gonna fire from the bottom. Almost. We're getting there. I'm guessing it's probably just my darts because those are very worn out Adventure Force darts. So that's probably a factor to put into this. So just keep that in mind. Maybe that's probably the problem here. All right, we have our dart zone darts loaded up. See if these are fare any better. Ah. Too high. At least we're not launching 2 darts out of the barrel. Oh, to the right. Also to the right. Okay, that's weird. The first ones are going straight. Second ones, on the other hand, they're going all over the place. I don't know what to think. All right, let's move on to the range test. All right, so here we are at the range test. As usual, for context, the chicken marked 25 feet. The swan marked 35 feet. The frog marked 40 feet. And the far back wall marks 50 feet from where I'm standing. We have here the Tricera-Blast loaded up with Nerf Elite. I will be firing 6 each. Let's try to fire this as straight as possible. Oh, okay, that was impressive. The wind picked that one up, or what the heck? It fired 2. And these are like newer darts too. Kind of odd. All right, load it up again. 3 more. Now I hit the wall. Could have probably gone pretty far. What the heck? Shot the bottom barrel out again. Here, let me add 2 more darts. It's gonna fire from the bottom barrel. See how the ranges are on that. Not too good. Got picked up by the wind. Seem to go pretty decent, except they hit the wall a lot of times because the wind is blowing this way now towards the right. Yeah, interesting results. On to dart zone. Hopefully we won't shoot 2 out of the barrel. All right, 35 out. That one went farther and it was the middle barrel, and it shot the bottom barrel out. What the heck is up with that? I initially had the theory that it was because I have old darts, but those Nerf Elite ones are new. So I don't know what's up with that. Okay, 35, a little over 35. Goes about 35, and it shot the bottom dart out, so let's load 2 more up from the bottom. Doesn't go too far. That is to be expected with smart AR blasters. The last barrel is always the weakest. Seem to go about 35 onto dart zone. Let's see how these fare. They sit in the barrel very tight, so I'm hoping we don't shoot the dart out. Okay, whoa, that went beyond the 40-foot mark. Okay. That was an angle shot and made it to the 40-foot mark. Didn't shoot 2 darts out at once. That's a nice change. The first 3 shots went far, and those went right between the 2, so about the 37-foot mark. It's kind of odd. Things are going past the 40-foot, maybe 45-foot, but it's just really weird. All right, here we have our range test results. Of course, I will not be counting those darts over there, because those are the darts that shot at the barrel when they weren't supposed to. Instead, I will be focusing on this. These are where the darts landed when they were firing correctly. So the results aren't that surprising. It's pretty standard stuff. More consistent than usual. Usually Adventure Force and Dart Zone both land way shorter than Nerf, but it's more consistent. They all seem to land about 35, 37 foot. And of course, Nerf and Dart Zone went beyond the 40-foot mark. I think Adventure Force 2. Yeah, I think there's one right there, a couple right there that landed beyond the 45-foot mark or 40-foot mark. Put the ranges up on screen now with all the corrections in post. So with that out of the way, let's move on to the speed test. All right, here we are at the speed test. Starting off with Nerf Elite. I will be shooting 6 each. 64. Duplicate 64. Oh, it did fire the bottom dart out. Here, let me put another dart in the bottom. And 62. Probably gonna have to fire the bottom one separately, but let's try it again. 68. 62. And error 3. I don't know if that dart was seated in properly. 60. Now we're on to Adventure Force. See if it fare any better. 68. And it fired the middle one as well. 64. This blaster is just like shooting multiple darts out. 59. 67. 44. I don't think that was correct, so I'm just going to fire the middle by itself. 66, and now the bottom. 57. On to dart zone. 70. 56. Oh, what? That was like the first time it shot the bottom dart out as well. Shoot in the middle. Or the bottom. 58. 70. 65. And now time for the bottom. 57. I'm gonna load the middle barrel. 65. That means the first middle shot from the first reload was bad when it reached 55. This is the actual number. All right, so with all the testing out of the way, let's move on to my final thoughts. All right, so what are my final thoughts on the Nerf DinoSquad Tricera-Blast? But before we do that, as usual, I'm gonna go worry about it and how much I spent. I purchased this at Target for $19.89 USD. A couple of things to mention before we move on to the pros and cons. Some things I've discovered while testing the blaster out. First off, the lock on here is very weak, so you can kind of just pull it down. Don't recommend doing that because you might wear it out. Also, the blaster is able to be used with the breech open. Anyway, with that all the way, let's move on to the pros and cons. Starting off with cons. There's only one big con about this blaster, and it is a pretty big one. And it has to do with the barrels. As you saw throughout the entire video, if you have a loose fitting dart in the barrel, let's see if it'll do it, and you fire the blaster, it has a knack for shooting both the middle and bottom dart at the same time, which is not what it's supposed to do. Not only does the bottom dart just fall out of the barrel, but the middle dart is flying a little bit slower because the air is leaking out of the bottom barrel instead of going all through the center. That's the only problem I have with the Tricera-Blast, so let's move on to the pros. All right, on to pros. Starting off with the aesthetics. Overall, I like the Tricera-Blast aesthetics. It has some nice, cool lizard skin texturing on the front of the blaster, as well as the grip. I also like the color scheme here. The nice blue and red contrasts well with the white. Ergonomically, the blaster is quite comfortable to hold, and also the added dart storage is pretty nice. The prime on the blaster is very smooth, and the trigger pull is kind of light. Also, I like how the blaster is hammer primed. Gives you the ability to use it one-handed. I also kind of think it's neat that they made the horn into the breech catch. I really like how easily accessible the barrels are, which makes it really easy and quick to load this blaster. But would I recommend the Tricera-Blast? Yes. I think it's a very cool blaster and would be a unique addition to your collection, to any collection really. And yes, it has its issues with certain types of darts, specifically Nerf and Adventure Force, but I think the pros outweigh the cons here. Anyway, that will be the end of the review. I'd like to say, once again, thanks to Mark Sebastian Velasco for suggesting I take a look at the Tricera-Blast. It's very much appreciated. Also, comment your thoughts about this blaster down below. Comment what else you want to see on the channel. Also, be sure to check out my review on the Nerf DinoSquad Raptor Slash, another blaster in the DinoSquad line. Also, be sure to check out my other reviews. I'll have both those linked at the end of the video. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.